Welcome back. It's good to have you. This is Rythmz Live One-on-One on GHoneTV. I am Blessing Blitzfrimpong. You can call me Blessing. And let's go straight to our one-on-one segment. Of course, we have somebody. The song in the background. The person who sang that song. Did I say the person who sang that song? The person who sang that song is right here with us in the studio. His name is Qshan. Did I get it right? Qshan Deyá, right?
Perfect.
Qshan Deyá. You're welcome.
Greetings.
When I see Rasta people, I'm happy because there's this positivity around them.
Give thanks.
They think about the society. They think about the country. When you talk of somebody who is always positive, it's always a Rasta man. Why do Rastafarians have that kind of mindset?
Well, because we stay close to the ground even when we are high
Right.
up at the mountain peak.
Okay.
Yeah, and Rastafarism come from His Majesty of Ethiopia, who's an humble figure, who was very close to Nkrumah, Kwame Nkrumah, the first Prime Minister of Ghana. So it's very important to be humble in this life because inner calm is so necessary for our well-being and our good health.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
Qshan, let's talk about you. Who is Qshan?
Qshan Deyá was born Kellis Kwashi in a 3-square-mile island.
Kellis Kwashi.
Yes, I'm God descendant.
That is a Ghanaian name. So you're Ghanaian.
I am Ghanaian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, let's
I
continue.
was actually taken away through Cape Coast.
Right.
My ancestors were separated from Jamaica to the smaller islands.
Okay.
I happened to born on a small island called St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Right.
And this little island is called Union Island. And I grew up in Sugar Hill.
Okay.
And at the tender age of 9, I started singing in the churches, church choirs. As you know, everyone thought singing in the church.
Yeah.
And then after gracing the stage every April, which is Easter festivity time, I then graduated from high school and never had music as one of my quests in life.
Okay.
My quest was to become a veterinarian, a vet actually, to protect the animals.
Okay.
And going to the mainland St. Vincent from my little small island called Union Island, which is the big city now, I then went to college to study animal husbandry for 2 years. Unfortunately, I did not finish that. Before the commencement of that, I met with Kevin Little, who happened to be a very close friend to me. Kevin Little, who sang the song Turn Me On.
Right.
That became number one. We were actually singing every break period at college. And everybody was laughing at us. And look at the destiny today.
Yeah,
I'm into music, he's into music.
Yes.
So what is ordained for you, I mean, you may run from it, but you will always go into the right path because God has His way of directing. So I moved from St. Vincent, migrated to the United States in 1996, where I've been living until now, as you see. I have returned back home to the land of my ancestors.
Beautiful.
And this is not just a vacation. Like some artists may come to Ghana on vacation. This is my repatriation.
Okay, beautiful. Now, before we move to what you've been doing and the people you've worked with, I realize you identify yourself with a tribe called the Simeon tribe.
Simeon, which is in the Rastafarian faith. Simeon is in the month of May.
Okay.
Like in the Bible, there's Reuben, the first son of Jacob. Simeon, the second son of Jacob.
Right.
The third son of Jacob is Levi.
Yeah.
The fourth is Judah. The fifth is Issachar. The sixth is Zebulun.
Okay.
The seventh is Dan. Then we have November, Gad. And then we have December, Asher. And then we have Naphtali. And we have Joseph, which is February. And March, which is Benji.
Okay.
And Dinah, which they never give their respect to because Jacob didn't just have 12 sons. He had one daughter.
A daughter.
Thank you. And we must not forget the woman in society.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
without a queen, there can be no prince,
That's all.
there can be no princess, so
No
there can
woman, no
be
cry.
no creation. Yeah, so,
Exactly.
yeah.
Beautiful. So, okay, so the Simeon is your birth month.
My birth month, which is the month of May. So I
Okay,
was born on
month
the 3rd of May.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Now, in your career, who have you worked with?
Well, in my career, my first album, which entitled Journey, which released in 2001, I did embark upon a 40-state US tour, opening for Anthony B.
Wow.
with the Star Trail family, and that was 40 states. On that album featured people like Richie Spice before he bust, and Yami Bolo. And then further on my second album, which is Love Govern Us All, I featured the likes of Tony Rebel, Half Pint, and Lady G.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, would we say that you started on the right and great foot? Because the people you're mentioning are not small people.
That's so true.
How did you get these people? Would you call it luck or you call it hard work?
I say destiny, because sometimes we may go certain direction and the current or the frequency may pull us in a different direction.
Yeah.
And we have no control of that most of the time. So I say, like we say, wait on the Lord and be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. I love waiting on the Lord.
Right.
I'm a very patient guy, because people say, you sound so great, and now haven't you just made it to the top? But what is for you? No man can take it.
Exactly.
So I say, I've crossed paths with many stars because God put me within that path to meet them, to be re-inspired and to become the best version of myself.
Now, in your conversation, I can tell the number of times you've mentioned God, and you've quoted the Bible, you've mentioned names in the Bible.
Yeah.
People have a perception about Rastafarians. It's not Christianity, but it's another type of religion. What is it? What exactly is it?
The truth is, Rastafarian is the same ancient Christians from yesterday.
Right.
And people may not see it, but we say, we follow Christ, Haile Selassie follow Christ.
Okay.
So people get confused when they see you give Haile Selassie glorification. But then, when we go back to the biblical prophecies, the Bible, Psalm 87 says, his foundation is in the holy mountains.
Right.
The Lord, L-O-R-D, loved the gates of Zion more than the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken of thee. All of these names are still pronouns. So what I'm trying to say is that in our life and in our dynasty, we need to not look at the flesh, but look at the message that the flesh brings to us. So within the faith of Rastafarian, some people idol worship. I don't idol worship His Majesty.
Right.
I glorify the divine spirit that travel within Haile Selassie, within the time in which it traveled. Because if you check the earth at that time, there was the devil in the earth at that time. And you could know the difference between who was the elect of God and who was really representing Satan.
Okay.
So Haile Selassie represent God.
Right.
So he's elect of God. So in him manifests the personality of Jesus that we never got to see in our dynasty of time.
Right.
So we compare him because he has fulfilled the prophecies of the same Bible in which we read.
Okay.
And if you go in the Bible, Psalms 4 verses 6, it says, extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name Jah. So we know to ourselves that we are not here to glorify flesh, but know that the divine spirit that creates us all does not see
Nice.
race, creed, nor color.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Now, talking of race and creed and all of that, this is something that reggae preaches about. Humanity, the fact that we're all humans. There should be love, there should be peace.
Yes.
Always communicating positivity. Now, let's talk about reggae music and how it is going out there in different forms. Because when you look at Ghana, for instance, we have the reggae dancehall, and we have people who have been into this genre for some time, and then we have the pure root rock, which you do.
Yes, I.
Yes, let's talk about that. So when we say root, is it roots rock reggae?
Like roots rock reggae.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's it all about?
Well, with the roots, it's same like a tree.
Okay,
If you keep closer to the root, you will feel the pulse of the earth because you will be grounded.
right.
Now, if you way up on the branches, which is the different, like the Afro beats, the dancehall, and the different
Right.
branches of reggae, you will still be part of the tree of reggae, but not really rooted. As you can see, when an artist is rooted, he may sing his song a little more slower because I don't know if people are familiar with 432 frequency, but that's the frequency that we need to tap into.
Right.
It's more healing music to heal the mind, and it's more
Okay.
therapeutic. So roots rock reggae holds that frequency.
It's like the foundation,
Foundation.
of everything.
Yeah, because music starts from this,
Right.
your heartbeat, doop, doop. And people don't know the heartbeat goes doop, doop, but it's saying, do good.
Right.
Do good. Because good is greater than God.
Yeah.
Because God himself has to do good before he can be considered as God.
Okay.
So God tell us in everything that we do good and good will follow. So if we try to do good, forget all the religious part of life, but just do good, then you're doing the way of God.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. But what do you make of all these branches you referred to? Is it diluting what reggae really stands
I will not
for?
say diluting, because you cannot eat rice every day. Life is made of many varieties. So these branches are needed. They have their role to play. But if those who are participating in that field as dancehall artists think within themselves that they're an instrument in the eyes of millions and use themselves as a vessel like God wants us to use ourselves, as vessels to do only good, then words that may utter out of the lyrics and content of these music will still be enough to make us gyrate and still be edified. This is what is missing.
Beautiful.
It is good music,
right?
But the content of it may cause peer pressure to young children who may not know to handle.
Is that your issue with most of the songs from dancehall?
Well, not all of the song from dancehall is derogatory, but the lyrical content in any type of music, whether it be dancehall, roots reggae, must always be intended for the listener to be uplifted, not be degraded, not be depressed, but to uplift and to revive and to comfort and to heal. Because music is popular education. You can learn a lot from music. Even in the dancehall era, you can learn a lot from even in the days of the shabarangs and, you know, the greats of reggae. But still, the dancehall of today, if you compare it with the dancehall of yesterday, the dancehall of yesterday was more social commentary, even though it was dancehall. The dancehall of today is basically humans just expressing how they feel. So I think we need to revamp our minds, because everything starts within the mind. Law of attraction. Thought becomes things through action.
Beautiful.
So if we now endow by our principles and know that we are instrument before our creator, and we use music as a vehicle, because music is like poor man's newspaper. So if we are using it to uplift the people, whether it be dancehall, whether it be calypso, whether it be reggae or roots reggae, it must always be in the form that I could play it in front of my little child. You understand me?
Yes,
Some of the dancehall, you cannot do that.
Beautiful,
you have to beep
true.
it.
Yeah.
So there's no need for that. Music must be clean.
Okay.
So if the music is clean, let it be played.
Beautiful. Let's go briefly to Grammys. We have had our brother, Rocky Dawuni, nominated for the third time, 3 times consecutively. Now, we had the news that there has been categories involved in the Grammy, and it is imbibing or adding African continent to it. We have categories for Africa, that's Best African Art.
Awesome.
What is your take on that?
Well, I see that nothing is new under the sun. This was yet to come to fulfillment a long time ago. The embracement.
Long overdue?
Long overdue. So this, what we see now, we must not be surprised. We must just embrace and hope that, like Dawuni and other artists, many more can come and do greater things so that the world can know that the light has always been in Africa. But other places just got the reflection of the light. But the real McCoy is yet to rise, which is the African continent, musically. So what I'm saying now, with Grammy, some of these organizations, some of the winnings are orchestrated. And there's no...
They are orchestrated?
Yeah, some things is orchestrated in life. So we must know that sometime you see something presented to you, it can be orchestrated. So we have to be careful about some of the things that we see before our eyes. So if we continue to work hard and forget the Grammy, but think about Mommy Africa, Mama Africa, and push the music of Africa, all genre, and be on the world stage, it will be greater than the Grammy. Because the Grammy is just a plaque in your apartment. It does not change your life the next day.
Does it mean you don't really care about awards?
My awards, I work for reward from God and not the award from men.
Beautiful.
Yeah, because the reward from God is greater than the award from men. You know.
Now, you mentioned Mama Africa. You're back to your roots. You're back to Ghana. Mama Ghana, if we should say.
Mama Ghana, yeah.
Why are you in Ghana?
Ghana, I must say, from the time I found my true history, knowing that I was a descendant of the Ga. Through my brother Lagazi.
That's the Gas in Ghana.
Yeah, Gas in Ghana,
wow.
yeah.
Then you must be
Yeah.
learning Ga. You should be learning Teoyote and all that. That's right.
Yeah, so
beautiful.
I'm getting there. It's a process of transition.
Yes.
Because when you were stolen and robbed of your true history and you really find it, like some people look at me and say, why you come to Ghana? Ghana is hard. But I will teach you something. You think it's green on the other side of the fence.
It's assumed that it's better there. People actually travel to say
it is
for
a
greener
perception.
pastures.
It is a perception. Because like I said to people in my new music that I have just released, a track called Oh What a Joy.
Oh, what
which
a joy.
Is
That's the latest from you.
Latest from me. And this was recorded in Ghana.
In Ghana.
Created in Ghana.
With a beat and everything.
At my personal studio in Ghana.
Wow.
So I found within myself that when you travel to the motherland and you get to see what they were hiding from you, you get to realize that everything in the outer world, you can get it here. So to all the states in Africa. So if we start from home, so they say the longest journey begin with what? The first step. So you have to start from home. So if you start from home, then we can take the journey and go further. So I look to myself and I say, Qshan, you've been in reggae for over 20-something years. What do you really have to show? Yeah, I'm popular to some people, but I want to be in a place where I can give back. Share my experience of the outer world to people here in the continent for them to know, not everything that glitters is gold. On the other side.
Right.
Lot of discrimination on the other side. Lot of prejudice on the other side. That you will never even think you would have thought existed in this so-called world that is saying, one love, come to America, yeah.
Civilized.
Oh, like I tell people, let us work as Africans. All Africans and righteous people shall come together as one, or the world will never come together as one. Until we Africa come together and unite. I mean unite where there's no first class and second class citizens. Where you can go to Nigeria without visa requirements and all of these things. Our leaders in our continents have to come together and unite.
Speaking of our leaders, sorry to interrupt. We have that awakening that we have everything it takes to get there. In fact, the outside world have been telling us, they have been telling us that Ghana can't do it, or the continent, the African continent can't do it. Looking at our leaders and how some of them have even stayed in power and overstayed in power, do you think it's possible with our current leaders?
Well, I will give them this message. The best means for the world to overcome the world difficulties is that the world be united as in a single body, thus being one single organ. Nations must find the means to heal their unhappy wounds, not by bits, but as a whole. And the reason why we have so many war and rumors of war is because they're trying to do it by bits and not as a whole. So if the leaders think, oh, when somebody votes for me, they're on the other side of the fence because they did not vote to me, so they vote party. That means you actually vote partly. You did not vote wholesome, holy. So if politicians start thinking, even though you did not win, that doesn't mean you cannot give that man who won an idea to make his leadership better.
So your issue has been about partisanship and how we have divided ourselves.
Thank you. Divide and conquer.
All the parties.
Oh yeah, because this does not, I will say, represent who you really are. You're just trying to be in favor of someone because they probably give you one or two grease palm of something, so you think you owe the obligation. No, you cannot win an election by noise or argument. You have to win by your character and by your works.
Character. Beautiful.
You know.
Now, I heard there's a festival upcoming and you are going to be there.
Trust
I
me.
know there's an instrument in your hand. Before we go, you play it. In fact, it's going to be the last thing we will do. So
No problem.
people will get to know what is inside. What's the name of this
Well,
instrument?
this instrument, as I may say, probably first time people see it in Ghana, it's called a melodica.
A melodica.
It brings you melody.
Melody.
Yeah, because this
Beautiful.
now is like a regular keyboard.
Okay.
but there's no electricity.
Okay.
So the electricity has to come from
Right,
the
from
anatomy.
within you.
Thank you. And
Beautiful.
what God give us that we have that no man can take from us but God, what is that? The breath of life.
Ah, beautiful.
So it's the air goes through here,
right,
and then you can coordinate with the keys.
So we'll come to that. That will be our last thing.
Problem.
But let's talk about the festival. When is it happening? What's the name of the festival?
Kochoko Festival.
Kochoko Festival.
Yes.
Okay, when is it happening?
It is happening on the 24th of June at
24th
the Alliance
June.
Francais.
Okay, Alliance Francais. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to perform there?
Oh, definitely. You're going to have a blast. It will be my first performance in the whole African continent.
Wow.
And it happens to be the land of my ancestor.
Beautiful.
Ghana.
Beautiful.
And the first place I've ever traveled in Africa is Ghana.
Oh, wow.
So I never come to Africa before.
Wow.
Because I was envoyed to be in Africa in 2020. But I got stuck in the UK with the whole COVID and all the...
that.
Thank you.
Okay.
And nothing is before its time, I always say.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's happening on the 24th. If you want to see Qshan Deyá's one and only first performance in the continent of Africa, then you need to be there. And it is happening on 24th. And the time, is it in the evening?
It's going to be starting from 7 p.m. sharp.
7 p.m. So be there. He's not the only person going to be there. A lot of reggae dancehall artists, right?
Yeah, Black
reggae,
Rasta is the host. Yeah.
All of them. They are going to be there.
King Lagazi is going to be the MC.
Wow.
You know, Kankara, you know, Black Messiah.
All these people.
All these artists are going to be on top of the show.
So be there to witness this. But your latest song, the title again?
My latest song that I'm going to be releasing in Ghana, it's called What a Joy.
Oh, What a Joy.
Yeah.
So be expecting that as well from Qshan
Deyá.
Right, beautiful. Now, as we sign out, Qshan, it's an honor having you. Thank you so much for coming back to your roots. And we receive you with open arms.
Give thanks.
We look forward to having you.
Medasi.
Thank you for tuning in. It's
pleasure.
always a pleasure having your company right here at Rythmz Live One-on-One. I am Blessing Bliss Frimpong, and this is how we are signing out. The beautiful... Right. Say bye-bye to you. This has been Qshan Deyá with us right here on One-on-One. See you next week, same time, right here on GHoneTV.